Hey, let's give a warm 6 p.m. welcome to Kirsty Allen and her daughter, Josie Allen. Some mother-daughter time here at 6 p.m. As Mark mentioned, we're talking tonight about the family relationship, parent-children. And so we thought, hey, what better than to get a window into one family's life here at MBM. And so Kirsty and her husband Phil were interviewed this morning at 10:45. Excellent interview, and tonight we thought we'd ask Josie to come and boot Dad out and get Josie up on stage. Now, Kirsty, do you want to begin by telling us who is in your family?
So there's myself and Phil, and we have 4 kids. Josie's the oldest, she's 20. We have Ben, who's 18, who must be out there somewhere, unless he's running late. Susie, who's 15, and Luke, who is 9, and the dog called Lucy.
Lucy, okay, not Luke, Lucy. All right. Tell us, as we get a bit of a glimpse into your family household, for you, as a parent, can you share with us perhaps the most significant thing you've done in the years of being a parent?
I think the one and I guess the biggest thing that I think is really important as a parent has been to pray for our kids, to pray for our parenting. We can't do it on our own. We can't. We just haven't got what it takes. But with God, we have His strength, and we know He's in control. So this is, as much as we might try, we need Him to guide us and to be in control of this. But I guess the biggest thing I think is that we've made God the biggest thing in our family life. That's involved, I think for us, that we see it as really important to be consistent and persistent with making sure God is the focus, and that our kids can see that as well. So that's from reading the Bible with them. We generally, when they've been smaller, we've read the Bible each night with them and prayed with them.
Even when they were in the womb as well?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I used to read the Bible out loud when the kids were in my belly. Then as they've gotten older, that's kind of looked different. They don't always want to read with Mum and Dad at night before they go to bed. So encouraging them in their walk with God. Attending church regularly has been something we've really prioritised. We think it's really important to attend regularly. We aim to be here every week. Obviously, that doesn't happen every week with sickness and holidays and things, but we generally try to make sure we're here each week. And then just helping them be at things like Kids Club and Youth Group and church camps or youth camps and growth groups and things like that, which is quite a hard task because we end up being taxi. And we're just driving kids all over the place all the time, especially when they get to the age where they're doing things separate to what we are doing as they get older. And then also Phil and I being involved in growth groups so that they can see that to us it's really serious to be reading the Bible with other people. I think we've tried to make that stuff happen not as a rule but as a habit, that we just do it. You know, our kids go to school each day, we go to work, we go to church. It's a habit that we have, and it's a thing that we do. We just do it, like the Nike thing. And we do it even when it's hard. There's times when my faith has been really low. Phil has had times like that too, and there's times when I might have been angry with people, or I might have really been frustrated with church, or just for whatever reason, or we might have just been, really overwhelmed with busy life. But we've made that an aim to be here every week. Even when those hard times come.
Talk to us about Monday night family dinner as well, because that's something that's new now that Josie's not at home.
Yeah. So, as they got older and just we're scattered on most weeknights with training for soccer or growth groups for the kids, which is a great thing, but it really impacts on having time as a family. So we now have a family night on Monday night. We read the Bible together. It's a great idea, and we're really committed to doing it, but probably 70 or 80% of the time it's a complete failure. We end up sitting down and someone ends up fighting with someone, or someone else might get the sulks, someone else might have the death stares at one of their siblings or myself or Phil. But we just keep doing it. We've tried to adjust it to make it improve it. But yeah, we just keep doing it consistently and persistently.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks for giving us. It's been beautiful to see Josie nodding away at just these wonderful things that have been happening as you've tried to put Jesus first in your parenting. There's many challenges in parenting. Can you share with us one particular challenge that you found?
Definitely a lot of challenges. I think one of the things I personally have as a challenge is my expectations of myself and of my kids. The model of my own upbringing. My parents are not terrible parents. They were very moral people. They provided for us. They took us on holidays. They were angry a lot, but they were good people. But they did have really specific expectations of us. They were very high achievers. They weren't Christians, and their focus was on success. So my parents were both doctors, and they, like, for example, university was absolutely compulsory. You went to school, finished year 12, go straight to uni, and it wasn't like there were certain courses that you were expected to do. So when I grew up, I didn't study very hard, so I didn't do very well. And then I took a gap year or 2 or 3, and I then did nursing, which for an old school doctor, that was totally unacceptable. So in a lot of ways, I was quite disappointing to them. And I've grown up wanting very much for that not to be the case with my kids. So I fought against that, but it's very ingrained. So it's really hard not to be like that. So I constantly fall back into that pattern of being very proud of them when they achieve well or something at school, or being quite displeased if they don't achieve in certain ways. But as a Christian, I know that the measure of success is not, or the real measure of success is not how they do in school, and not what school they get into, not whether they go to uni or anything. So I know that as a Christian, I want my kids to grow in the knowledge and love of Jesus, and to follow him and to be like him. And that's my prayer, that despite who I am and what I do and what I say, that they will grow in that. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing and being vulnerable with us, Kirsty. We're going to hear now from Josie, and talk to us, share with us, I guess, the challenge for you as a daughter, and especially in light of what your mum has just shared.
Yeah, I think it does come right off that. I probably, particularly over the last few years, as I've become more independent, I have quite struggled, feeling like a disappointment in some areas. Like in school, if I wasn't achieving well, I really felt like I was letting them down. And I really, really respect them. I love them. I really care what they think of me. So it's been difficult. And then coming out of school, like, I'm not living at home, but I've decided not to go to uni, and that was a pretty rough conversation. Yeah, I really felt like I was disappointing them. That was being difficult. But it's so obvious that they care about me, and that why they want certain things for me is out of love and out of just they want my future to be secure and good. Yeah, so that's a little bit.
Yeah. And your dad had the beautiful story this morning of just seeing the joy of seeing kids owning their faith and walking in the Lord. Kirsty, can you, we'll throw it back to you again, the joy of being a parent. Now you found this a little bit tough, but share with us what the joys of being a parent are.
So, there's lots of challenges, there's lots of joys. I think there's just so many. I think that's why I found it hard to actually answer this question. It's just such a delight being a mum, and there's the difficult and the overwhelming things, but there's so many moments of delight. There's so many fun times, so much laughter, and just that privilege of watching them each grow up from these little people who grew up into these, some of them are still on their way, but growing up into young adults who, and you watch their personality develop through that, their character. And, we've had so many lovely holidays together, and lots of jokes. But I think mostly as a Christian parent, it's been that joy of watching them grow to choose to love and serve and follow Jesus. I think some things that really stick with me are the times when I've, as you know, the kids might not have done quite what they were supposed to be doing, so I've threatened them not to go to youth group, and it's like the worst thing in the world not to be able to go to youth group, which is great. The times when I've noticed the light on out in the lounge room and it's like an hour past someone's bedtime and I've gone out there ready to use my cranky voice, and there they are with their Bible open and their journal open and they're reading the Word of God with no pressure from us. They've just chosen to do that. They're still told they should have done it an hour ago, but it's a good thing to do, right? To break the rules. And ministry together, I've absolutely loved, and it's been such a privilege to be able to do ministry together with my kids. So there's been years, for example, where there's been like all the kids, myself, 1 year Phil was able to as well do holiday club. And so there we are for a whole 4 days ministering together. It's been a real privilege.
Josie, last words goes to you. What are some of the things that you're thankful for your parents?
There's a lot. I'm so thankful that they have raised me to know Jesus. It's the greatest gift you guys could have given me. And he's important to me because you've shown me that. And I think also, like, I've always known that you guys love me. Like recently, a few months ago, I was just really anxious about something and went home for Monday dinner, cried on the couch for 4 hours, and Mum just sat with me and loved me and talked me through it, and then called me every morning that week. That was really special. Thank you.
Feeling the love up here on the stage. This is so good. Thank you so much, Josie and Kirsty, giving us a window into what family life looks like for you guys. Parenting is messy, and you haven't hidden anything from us, really, but we have been able to clearly see that you guys are committed to letting Jesus call the shots as you guys parent and as you guys seek to be children as well. So let's put our hands together one last time for these guys. Thanks so much for being